Like most museums around the world, Robert and Frances Fullerton Museum of Art had to close its doors due to the COVID-19 shutdown. 1 year ago, we hosted a virtual Emerging Artist exhibition where artists from all over could submit their artwork to be featured on the RAFFMA website. The scope at which we could provide a virtual exhibition was limited by what we could imagine and produce at the time, and thus a simple web page with images of each artwork was the final result. Since that time, RAFFMA staff and student assistants have greatly expanded the ability of the museum to present content in an online virtual setting. This year, John Fleeman, RAFFMA's exhibit designer for over 20 years, and Chase Hansen, RAFFMA student assistant majoring in art history and studio art, work together to bring you an exhibition unlike anything RAFFMA has ever produced before.
Well, my expectations going into this project is that I was going to not like it at all. It's really not my thing. Chase is amazing. I thought that I would contribute almost little to nothing in this project given my lack of technical skill.
Using the museum's architectural files, Chase was able to recreate an entirely virtual replica of the museum's galleries. Then, together, John and Chase collaborated to bring the exhibition to life in the virtual space, working to make an experience as realistic and as immersive as they possibly could. Submissions for this exhibition were all digital images. The idea in the initial project brainstorming was to literally take these images and pop them on the rendered walls in the digital space and call it a day. This approach, however, left a lot to be desired of the exhibition.
I was really expecting to be using the kind of things that you can only do in the digital space, use these artificial lights or these artificially thin or huge works of art. And in reality, we found out that those aren't so great. So actually taking things in a more realistic direction, giving them real depth and volume, really brings things to life.
John directed the curatorial and aesthetic vision for the project, while Chase, having the technical skills, did the heavy lifting in creating in the virtual space.
That's good. I mean, what a difference, right?
Yeah.
It looks like a completely different thing now. It actually looks, it has some weight to it, some dimension to it, and now it has a presence on the wall.
And so contrast, this is the canvas.
Yeah. So the key is that shadow.
The precision of a digital rendering feels fake. You can tell almost immediately the difference between a digital rendering and the real thing. Striving to create a close-to-life experience led to discussions around lighting, depth, texture, and framing.
Doing the Egypt model is that sometimes you don't want to do it perfect, like mathematically or optically. It just doesn't work that way. Nothing's like that in real life.
I think the thing that surprised me the most about the process is, as I was excited to be able to do something in this virtual world that we can't do here in the space, or things that we can't do here in the space, like really getting the lighting perfect and manipulating the size of the pieces in some cases, but that we were actually trying to make it less perfect and more like it is in reality, and it felt better.
Much as we put it in real life, you wouldn't just hang something on the wall, you'd seat it within a larger frame with a glass cover on it to kind of give it volume in the space, to make it stick out from the wall. And we didn't just do that in theory with the model, we did that almost exactly. We took the real frames, the real picture frames that we use in the museum, and I modeled a fake virtual one based on all the exact dimensions of what we'd really use.
A majority of the project was produced in a program called Blender. Then, digital panoramic photos from within the space were rendered and used in 3D Vista to create the final virtual gallery experience. The results of this project have completely surpassed what we imagined possible 1 year ago.
I think the virtual exhibitions has great potential. How much, I'm not really sure. I think it kind of goes back to what I was talking about before, between you making the virtual world seem more like the real world and really taking advantage of what we can do in the virtual world that we can't do here. I think there's a happy medium, knowing when and where to use it.
I can definitely see, as we refine not just the technologies but the methodologies, we refine the ways in which we're curating things, and like once viewers and observers are kind of acclimated and know what they're expecting from a digital gallery, we can see some really, really next level stuff in the future.
The potential for exhibitions is hard to predict. You can't really replace the experience of seeing a work in person just quite yet. But you can provide a new experience, unexpected and impossible in the real world. Let us know in the comment section what you think about the future of virtual exhibitions. Thanks for watching. This project was possible thanks to the Student Success Initiative and the Vital Expansions in Technology Initiative grant.